Wow, that was really fast. Let's see if we can make all this happen.
I'm never. Back.
Hey! All right. Look. Look, there's still all this new fancy stuff. Still getting used to it.
There is.
Charles, how are you?
Hi, Charles.
Charles and everybody else watching around the world and listening later on the streaming pod place or YouTube or wherever you're watching.
Podcast.
Thanks for finding the Geek Spot. Welcome to another week of all the latest in the news and plenty of shows and hockey talk and soon we'll have Super Bowl commercials to discuss and maybe a trailer or two. Who knows what'll happen? But I'm Jack. That's Frank up there. You can see my name. It's right there.
Can't see mine.
We got to work on that one of these days. We'll get there. But thanks for joining us, everybody. We got plenty to talk about this week. We got Wonder Man. We got Shrinking. We got Starfleet. We got Knights of the Old Seven Kingdoms. We got Fallout. So many things. I'm going to give you a little deep dive on Wonder Man.
I watched
the show. I know. But I'm going to tell you about all the things that we didn't get in the show that are the reasons that I love Wonder Man. And, we'll get there in a little bit. But before all that, how you been, man?
I'm exhausted. This has been a long week. It's 3 days into the week, and I feel like I've lived the month of January over again. Oh, dude. I had back-to-back games Monday night at 6:30 and 7:30. I was dead. And then I had a game at 7:40 last night, and the team we played was way more physical than most teams. And I just got pushed around a lot. Losing that 30 pounds made a big difference.
In getting pushed around or in
being moved the way I was moved and the stamina during the. I mean, I had stamina the whole games. I'm glad I'm not playing another game and probably until Monday. Okay. Two of the teams I play for are playing each other.
So that's interesting.
Yeah, it's a 9:30 game, so it won't affect us. We'll be fine.
Do you do a half on each team?
I wish it was that easy. I'm going to see who's showing up for the one team and decide whether or not I want to play against them, or I may just not go to that game in general.
It's fair.
I'm sorry. I'm watching meltdowns in the chat as the news for the Philadelphia Eagles just came out that Jeff Stoutland has decided he no longer wants to be part of the Philadelphia Eagles. And when I did a little quick dive on the one Facebook post where I saw it in the comments, literally it was like the world ended. Welcome back to the 90s. Our window is closed. This is the end of the Super Bowl era for the Eagles, but the Phillies are running it back, so we're good.
Sure. I mean, also to be fair,
thank you, Brett.
The Eagles also had a horrendous offensive line this year, so it can only get better. So good luck to them. Jeff Stoutland, the offensive line coach, as I don't remember if you said that part or not.
I did. But that's okay.
But yeah.
But other than that, it's been normal. I'm watching a lot of TV shows. I have, and I mentioned this before, Amazon Prime has a live TV option, and in that live TV option is a literal library of so many shows that just run and run constantly, one after the other with minimal commercials. I've seen the entirety of the TV show Las Vegas more than normal.
With James Caan and Josh Duhamel?
James Caan and Josh Duhamel.
I love that show. It's a great show.
What's the worst cliffhanger in TV history, right? It was the worst. Tom Selleck came in the last season.
Oh, yeah. Because James Caan left.
Yeah. and they ended on an awful cliffhanger where Delinda was like, they were like at a memorial service for Cooper, and Cooper showed up in the back like, hey guys, what did I miss? And then Delinda goes into like premature labor, and like she holds up a hand and it's like there's blood on it, and she goes, Danny, and then they cut, and then the writer's strike happened from what I was reading, and they never went back and finished it. So you're just like this, like, I did love that show.
Yeah, I mean, it went till 2008.
Yep.
But I mean, the last season was a little rough in general. You lost Nikki Cox. You lost
a lot of they lost a lot of viewers too. There's a Star Trek channel that runs all the Star Trek TV shows. I only haven't seen Deep Space Nine on it yet, but I've seen they run Lower Decks, Next Gen, Discovery, Strange New Worlds, and Enterprise. But I haven't seen Deep Space Nine on it yet. There's a Stargate channel that runs the 3 Stargate shows. And they just run, and there's all other channels. There's a ton of other channels with a ton of other, there's just General Hospital channel, which I would love if they showed old 80s General Hospital, like back in the good days.
Yeah, well, there was the soap opera network for a while that ran that.
It was, but I have, if I'm sitting playing a video game, it's Amazon Prime TV now, or live TV, not Hulu, not The Big Bang Theory or The Office.
Well, that sounds great for you.
But I watched regular stuff, like stuff that we can talk about. So that's good.
It's good. I did not.
What about you? And hi, T.
I watched some stuff. This was the only night we could do the show this week because if you can see this, it's the show week for my kids doing.
Thank you, Brett.
The Addams Family locally. So if you're in the lower Bucks County area this weekend, there's 5 shows. My oldest is a lead on Thursday night and Saturday night. So that's where the rest of my week's going to be. Between that, I got to play a gig with some friends that I've been playing with off and on for a long time. Ooh. Last Friday, a little steel drum action. Getting to play the Caribbean stuff, the Trinidadian music and some classics from down there and some of the hits everybody loves, your Red Wines and your Jamaica Farewells and those kinds of things. So that was cool, getting to dust off those songs out of the songbook and do that. And then I also ended up binging all of Warrior since the last time that we...
Yeah, you had mentioned that.
Yeah, so I talked about Banshee on this show quite a bit a few years ago when I went through and watched that show. Same creator, Jonathan Tropper. He also ended up doing the Atom Project and some other stuff. He wrote The Wrecking Crew that just came out. He writes Your Friends and Neighbors. On Apple, he wrote C.
Okay.
So he's a writer on a lot of things that are great shows, have a lot of people that we like in them. Banshee was one of the most fantastic shows I've ever seen. And Warrior was a close second, I would say. As far as that goes, it was a Cinemax show, same as Banshee, that then got changed over to HBO Max during that realignment, and then got killed as part of the HBO Max Discovery merger, thanks to Zaslav, where they said this show is a little bit expensive. But it is on Netflix for like the next week still. So if you have the time, I would go binge that. It's based in San Francisco in the late 1800s. It's a martial arts prodigy from China, played by Andrew Koji, who I had just seen in Steel, so that reminded me that I hadn't gone to watch Warrior yet. Okay. There's also Storm Shadow in the Snake Eyes movie. He's fantastic.
Oh, okay, yeah.
He immigrates to San Francisco and joins the Powerful Tong, which were the Chinese gangs in San Francisco at the time, and it's about gang rivalry and immigration status and the Irish and politics and all sorts of badass fight scenes, like some of the most intense, gory, graphic fight scenes you'll ever see. Banshee was the same way with the action. This show's that same way. It was based on books that a screenplay that Bruce Lee had written.
Oh, neat.
When he was a kid, before he passed away, he's like, "Hey, I'd love to do a show based in the late 1800s in San Francisco with the rival Chinese Tongs," and then they made it a reality for this show. But yeah, if you have not watched Warrior before, go take some time and binge that show. If it's not on Netflix when you go to do it, I'm sure it will be back on Max shortly, but Netflix did get the rights a few years ago, and then they did not pick it up for season 4. But period pieces are expensive, and it kind of towards the end of it ended up in the same kind of problem that or it's not problem, but situation that I would say that Shrinking is running into as they go into season 3.
What problem?
With the cast gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and by the time you get to season 4, there's going to be 50 leads on that show.
Yeah, and they're not exactly cheap leads either.
No.
They're not exactly cheap. Now, I haven't watched the most current, and I know we're going to talk about the other episode in a little bit, which I'm very excited that the show's back.
Yeah, me too.
It's one of my favorite watches.
So that was all that stuff. Do we have a list?
I don't really have a list. I have been late on the lists. I actually kind of got really caught up at work today working. It's really weird how that happens sometimes.
Weird. That is weird for you.
We'll go back to the list next week. Did we? I don't have a ton of news stuff. I do have one thing that I just March 17th is going to be a great day in 2028.
Is it because it's St. Paddy's Day and I'm at the W Tavern?
No, and that's in 2028, so I don't know.
Well, I've been there the last 4 years, so I would assume I'll still be. I assume it will still be St. Paddy's Day.
Well, it will,
and I assume I will still be playing there because I think that's a Friday in that year, right?
It will also be. Let me read this post. No one said the road would be easy, but it's ours. One that has defined us and become our legacy, and the legacy lasts forever. March 17th, 2028. Fast forever.
I'm glad they're going to invest that money.
That's it. This is the final one this time.
Sure.
Again. This is the final. It's like wrestlers retiring. This is the final one.
Yeah, until the spinoffs start or continue.
Listen.
Look, that's great for you.
I'm out after this.
I'm sure I will still have not watched most of the Fast movies by the time we get to
we can do it.
Fast 11.
Fast X made $714 million against $378 million production budget.
Oh, that's not much.
That's not a lot considering the 8th film grossed $1.2 billion.
I mean, it also leaves out the probable $200 million marketing campaign.
Yeah.
Because that was just production costs.
Right.
Yeah.
So we get the finale of The Fast and the Furious in 2 years, which probably will still be a year before The Last of Us comes out.
Who cares? Oh, we did not cover that. They did announce that The Last of Us season 3 will be the final season of The Last of Us TV show.
Yes.
So
and they're recasting the brother.
No.
Yeah, no. Someone.
No, it's not the brother.
Hold on.
I will hold.
Last of Us is recasting the character Manny. That's right. The character Manny, originally played by Danny Ramirez in season 2, has been recast with Jorge Landeborg Jr.
Yeah, probably because he'll be filming Secret Wars.
He will still be filming Marvel movies, correct.
And honestly, I couldn't tell you who any of the side characters were because I didn't care. And knowing now that show is going to end at season 3 and we'll probably just finish the second game, maybe we'll finish the second game. But they're going to have to cram a lot of shit in if they're only doing 6 episodes again.
I'm good. I tapped out of that 2 episodes into season 2, I think. Maybe 3.
You did not make it to the big moment, I don't think.
No, I did.
Oh, then that was
right in the beginning.
That was 2.
Yeah, they killed. They did that right in the beginning.
It was the second episode.
Yeah, that's the beginning.
It's only 7 episodes, so wasn't it?
That's
halfway
fine.
through.
And I was fine. I was fine tapping out. That's okay. Seriously, it's perfectly okay. Did we talk about the Brandon Sanderson thing last week?
We did not, because that was announced last Tuesday.
Okay. So, Brandon Sanderson is an author. He, for those book nerds, or people that like the fantasy genre of books, Brandon Sanderson finished off the Wheel of Time series that was originally penned by the late Robert Jordan. Robert Jordan passed away before he was able to finish his final book, and they gave it to Brandon Sanderson to do. And Robert Jordan had written an outline out of how he wanted the book series to end, and had basically written the final chapter of the book. And then they gave it to Brandon, and he looked at it, and they ended up making it 3 books, and he fleshed out some of the side characters. And the 3 books that he did was arguably better than some of the books that Robert Jordan had written. Brandon's great writer. Brandon has his own books out. He has a series called the Mistborn series. There's a couple books in that. He also does the Stormlight Archives. It's in his Cosmere universe. He has his own universe. So Brandon signed with Apple to he's going to do Mistborn. His book series Mistborn is going to be a movie, and the Stormlight Archives is going to be a television series on Apple TV. This will be done so much better, and the way Wheel of Time should have been done. Excuse me. So what he said was, he went out to Hollywood in May, and he pitched to all the major streamers and studios. And he had done this in the past, and he hadn't really gotten a lot of ground. He didn't really meet with the higher ups. They just kind of pitch people, and they listened to him, and nothing happened. He didn't like where things were, so he waited a while, and he came back. And then everybody started bidding on his stuff this time around. He picked Apple. He said, the reason I picked Apple was I liked the vibe with a lot of these meetings. There weren't any bad meetings in the group, but part of it was the amount of control that Apple was willing to offer. It's less about control and more about the partnership, and the partnership felt right with Apple. I really like how they've been doing Apple TV Plus and a very careful rollout of specific films. So he is going to write the script for the first Mistborn movie. And as far as the TV show goes, he'll have creative input in a way that George Martin didn't. And George Martin's relationship with the House of the Dragon showrunner has gotten to the point where HBO basically stepped in and was like, you give us your notes, and we'll give your notes and our notes to the show director, because the show director basically just stopped talking to him.
It's great.
He's very, very difficult to deal with, apparently.
Well, and Sanderson is also young. He's only 50, yes. I believe.
He's young, and he's so down to earth. Like the man will just show up at places, and he has his own. He sits and plays Magic the Gathering with people. Like, he still just is a down to earth guy that you can approach and talk to, which is really cool. Like, you don't really see people like that.
No, and George R.R. Martin, even when he started Game of Thrones, was in his 60s. Right. Or at least around 60. So, I mean, he was a little more set. This guy's been a very prolific author for his age already.
Yes. Yeah, he's got a ton of books out.
Yeah, I bought, after the news, I went and bought the first one of the Mistborn. I've been so busy binging Warrior that I have not had time to start it yet. So that's my plan for this week.
I'm very, 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 I didn't read the Mistborns. I started with the Stormlight Archives, and I'm a huge fan of those. Henry Cavill actually called him up at one point and said, hey, I want to play Kaladin. Do you think I would be right for that role? That's one of the main characters in the Stormlight Archives. And he goes, do you think I'm too old? And Cavill said this, but Brandon said, yes, you're a little bit too old, and also he's Asian. But
that's okay, because we did get first shots of Henry Cavill.
We did get first shots of Henry Cavill and Jeremy Irons in Highlander. His injury's over. It looks like we're good to go. WWE's current Universal Champion Drew McIntyre has been tapped to play Angus MacLeod, Connor's brother. Henry Cavill will play Connor MacLeod. Russell Crowe will play Juan Sanchez Villalobos Ramirez.
As it should be. I mean, a Scotsman or a Australian.
I
Take your
love
pick.
it.
But I mean, the rest of that cast is fantastic, right?
Yeah.
You also have Karen Gillan's going to be in there as Heather, Kevin McKidd from Grey's Anatomy,
Dave Bautista's in it.
Jamon Hansu, who he just always is always a bridesmaid, man, in everything.
Yep.
He ends up in that spot. But yeah, fantastic cast there.
It looks like it's going to be that looks like a movie I'm definitely going to go out and see day one. You had mentioned the Spider-Man. We will not be getting Avengers, Doomsday, or Spider-Man 4 trailers during the Super Bowl on Sunday. Marvel has decided not to air trailers for either of them. Part of the reason being it's going to cost between $7 to $10 million for a 30-second spot in this year's Super Bowl, which is ridiculously high.
But why don't you? They can still release a trailer before the Super Bowl and that hype.
They're not releasing it during the Super Bowl. Supergirl and Clayface are also not going to appear during the Super Bowl. Marvel has Disney has other movies that they'll throw trailers for, some animated stuff. I think you're going to see them at what is it? CinemaCon's coming up next. I think is probably when they'll drop them.
Seems late for Spider-Man.
Spider-Man's out in 5 months, man. Like there's been no trailer, and Doomsday is out in what, 9 months, and there's already been 4 teasers for it.
Yeah,
and Spider-Man's out in July, and there's been no teaser. I mean, there's leaked stuff, and I try not to look at the leaked stuff because I really don't want it ruined. But it probably looks like CinemaCon in April, maybe, but you gotta drop something in February for Spider-Man at least.
Yeah, I don't know what though. I mean, they also like just finished filming, so I don't know how that. It blows my mind, right? That, and I know Spider-Man is not as effects heavy, but I feel like it's pretty effects heavy of a movie.
Sure.
But for some reason, they only need like 6 months to do the effects on a Spider-Man movie versus a year and a half to do it on the Avengers movies. Which, I know it's less, but still.
Supergirl comes out on June 26th, and we've already had 2 teasers for that.
Correct.
And like I said, Doomsday debuts at the end of the year, but you've already gotten 4 little teasers to try and set that up.
Stories.
I'm sorry.
I don't know if any of those are going to be in the movie.
And you got the countdown clock going.
Oh, yeah, stupid countdown.
Clayface September 11th. There's nothing for that yet, or was there something for that?
No, nothing for Clayface. But that's a long ways out. We don't need anything for Clayface.
Right. But Spider-Man is right there. It's like that's supposed to be a summer blockbuster, and you've got nothing. Maybe they'll do it before or after the Super Bowl. That way, you're saving money on the ad.
Could be. Yeah, I mean, Spider-Man comes out, as you said,
July 31st.
Yeah, so not long after Supergirl or Masters of the Universe, and we have a full Masters of the Universe trailer.
Right. Supergirl is
June 26th.
All that. What's that?
June 26th.
Yeah. Crazy, right?
Which I think is the week after Masters of the Universe. So like it's all soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I wonder if they need so little time to do the CGI in Spider-Man, do we have like 30 seconds of Mark Ruffalo?
Well, maybe.
As the Hulk? Or is it just Bruce Banner?
That's just it. But they typically cut together stuff for trailers to show the studio, right? So there's gotta be, there's a trailer out there online. If you really want to see it, you can find it. I've seen a little bit of the footage of it. It looks good, but I stopped watching it because I didn't want to see. I don't want to see it early.
We'll see where we end up with that stuff. But all sorts of excitement.
All sorts of excitement
from those things. And as Charles points out, Monarch Season 2 comes out on February 28th. I'll be talking about that on the show because since the last season of Monarch, I did go watch all of the Monsterverse or Godzillaverse, whatever you want to call it. I think it's Monsterverse. For for that universe. It's been great. They were all super fun. So I'm excited to get into season 2 and see how that ties back through all those other pieces.
Well, what funky stuff did you watch that I didn't watch that you like to bring out?
Nothing. Just Knights of the Seven Kingdoms and Hijack's finally really started to. I did not catch up on today's yet, but Hijack's really started to peel back some of the mystery and give more information about what's going on this season. The first couple episodes were like, I don't understand anything that's going on. For 2 full episodes, which was a lot. Maybe it was almost 3 episodes to not have any idea what was going on. And now all of a sudden they're like, oh, well, it's this and this. It's like, oh, well, shit. Okay. Now it makes more sense as to why we're where we're at. So Hijack's getting really good. Night of the Seven Kingdoms, only 6 episodes. You should probably end up going to watch it.
I'm going to watch it. I talked to a friend of mine at hockey last night. And
episode 3, way better.
He asked me if I watched it, and I said no. And he kind of explained a little bit without spoiling it. And I'll probably get around to watching it. I'll get.
Look, the first 2 episodes were trash. But I also had heard that the first 2 episodes are the weakest episodes of the show. Episode 3 actually started to develop the characters themselves and stop doing like setup. And now the story is actually moving, and we're seeing things happen and relationships build and some nice moments. A lot of good stuff with Dunk and Egg. I think we could have spent more time with the 2 of them developing them the first 2 episodes than we did. But episode 3 was great. So I'm in on that show. So before we get to we can do Shrinking because there's not really spoilers for that show.
Right.
Because I do want to do a bit of a deep dive on Wonder Man before we get to our Wonder Man review on the comic character, just to explain some stuff. But we can hit, if you want to hit Shrinking and Starfleet first, and then we'll do Wonder Man and Fallout.
Okay. Shrinking was that show. They are so good at taking you up here and then pulling the rug out from under you down here.
Yes.
In a good way. They just dance the emotional roller coaster with you.
Yeah, roller coaster is a great way to describe that show.
And it's really well done. And yes, the cast is growing and growing and growing. It's getting bigger. And I know there's another person coming into the cast, I believe, to this week's episode. Kobe Smulders is going to have a recurring role. Yes,
she was here last season. We got
there last season, but I think she comes in as with a little bit of a bigger role this season.
We'll see.
The Michael J. Fox, the first scene with Michael J. Fox was great. The reveal at the end with Michael J. Fox was devastatingly heartbreaking.
Yes.
If they hadn't announced a season 4, you would automatically be thinking the worst for Harrison Ford's character.
Correct. Well, you still could.
Well, they said he's back, but that
doesn't mean anything.
That doesn't.
This whole first season of this show is flashbacks.
That's true. I thought it was so well done. And the speech that Harrison gives last season at the Thanksgiving dinner,
yes,
where he kind of comes out with his Parkinson's to everyone. I read an interview with Bill Lawrence, and he said that speech that Harrison Ford gives is taken from the speech that Michael J. Fox gave the cast of Spin City when he revealed to them his Parkinson's. And they took that speech and they wove parts of that into Harrison's speech at that Thanksgiving dinner, which I thought was great.
Yeah.
I thought the episode was great.
Yeah, it's incredibly well written. Like you said, the roller coaster piece, the acting is all fantastic on it. The one that struck me was the village that keeps growing. That's like going to all the things for this girl. Like now it's the friend and the boyfriend and Harrison Ford and his new wife and this person, and like to go to the soccer game. There's like 20 of them.
Yeah, I mean that was fun.
Well, no, but so my kid,
Oh,
has grown this. There's this parent group at the school that he's no longer at, but we still hang out with the parents that roll 20 people deep everywhere we go.
oh, really?
So like it was funny to see
Gotcha.
that on screen and be like, oh, I know exactly what that's like because that's what happens now. It used to be like, oh, we go out and there's like 3 or 4 people, right? This literally rolls like 10 to 12 couples deep
That's
every
awesome.
time they go to anything.
That's pretty funny.
So it's really neat to see. And see that, you know, capture on the screen the two the same way, and the support for these kids and all these people in different lives. So yeah, so Shrinking's great. Go watch that, Apple TV.
Yes. Yes.
And then Starfleet Academy, not getting the best reviews out there in the
Oh
the
my
ethos.
God. If you if you pay attention to social media, Facebook, Reddit is hell in itself. I like Reddit. I like Reddit for video game stuff, and I like looking at the local sports teams Reddits because that can be so much fun sometimes.
Yeah.
I have never and will never reply to someone on Reddit. I don't have the brain power to argue like that anymore. I argue in text chats with some people.
Yeah.
I don't have the power to do it on Reddit at all. It's not getting love from people at all. And I had a small issue in this last episode, but I thought it was their best episode yet of the 3. Right?
4.
I'm sorry. What's up, Dom? The only issue I had with this episode was the space battle, air quotes,
Spoilers.
with the Klingons. So yeah, spoilers. If you're, I really don't think we're tapping the Starfleet Academy audience right now.
Probably not.
The space battle they had with the Klingons, Klingons wouldn't have gone along with that. Like, that's the only thing. And I know we're 900 years in the future.
Right. So, but imagine it's their last chance.
Yeah,
as a species.
They weren't even doing any damage. You weren't shooting them.
Right, but like, hey, we want to follow your tradition and allow you guys to save face and say that you want it. But like, if you don't do this, your species is dead.
Right.
Right. After like 700 years, it seems like since the burn, right? I don't even know what the burn is, but whenever. But like since your planet blew up, I guess, which was Star Trek 6, right?
Kronos blew up. Yes. So
it's a long time.
Go ahead. I'll be brief. The burn was all dilithium blew up.
Got it.
Every warp core, everywhere there was dilithium, it all exploded within microseconds of each other, and it cordoned off the galaxy, and subspace relay stations went down, and it was devastating. That's why the Federation was down to like 10 worlds. Vulcan left the Federation. Beta Z left the Federation.
What, Discovery?
Yeah, that all comes about in Discovery and how it happened, and I won't get into that. But suffice to say, they figured out why, and then they've kind of been starting to piece back the things and piece the Federation back together. That's the burn.
Got it. So even prior to that, right? There's all these issues. The Klingons are literally on their last. There's fractured society, a fractured species, everything. Hey guys, we get it, but like this is your way to save face. And it seems like Holly Hunter's character, her Lanthanite, who's been around for 1,000 years, and the old Klingon guy in charge, like had something at some point, and he kind of is a little more open than Klingons of the past used to be in general. So I didn't bump up against that. Like, but the stuff between Jadar, whatever his name, the Klingon dude on the show.
Oh, I forget his name.
Jaden. Between his character and his family, like it was. I'm watching Starfleet on like a Saturday afternoon and like crying on with some of the story points that they hit with this, and like the father son and the brother, like just really smart writing, I thought, and like way deeper than I would have ever thought on a Starfleet Academy YA show.
All of that stuff was great. All of the father son stuff, all of the father son, all of that stuff was great. And the episode as a whole was great. And the debating, and I loved all of it. I just didn't like the space battle part.
I get it. That's fine.
But I'm not hating on the show. I can nitpick certain parts of the show and still really sit down and enjoy watching the show, which I'm shocked I am enjoying it, because I told you originally that I thought I was going to hate this show.
Yeah, and there's some other podcasts that I listen to, and one that I hadn't listened to too much, that typically does a lot of Star Trek coverage, and I don't listen to them, for any of that, because I never watched any of the shows. And I'm watching this one and listening to the host of the show. I'm like, I can't. I unsubscribed from the Patreon. I'm like, I'm out from this guy. He's just such a dick in the way that he's like approaching the show. And everybody else on the show is like, the show's great. We love it. And the host is just like, he's like losing points with me every time he opens his mouth. And I'm like, all right, well, I guess
I have friends like that.
Yeah. Because all the things that he's complaining about, I'm like,
yeah,
that none of that is worth complaining about. Like,
no, it's not.
Talking about a fantasy sci-fi show thousands of years in the future. Like, shut up.
Yep. And that's why I said I can nitpick certain small things.
Right.
But overall, I, as a hardcore Star Trek guy, am enjoying the hell out of the show.
Cool. And me as a not hardcore Star Trek,
which is even better.
Thinks it's decent. I like this. This show's made me be like, maybe I'll go back and watch Discovery and Strange New Worlds.
Discovery's the first season of Discovery's.
But really I need that to set up all the other stuff that they've done since then. So,
yeah, you need a little bit of it.
Yeah. Well, because Strange New World starts on Discovery, right?
Yes, season 2.
So yeah,
you'll get If you watch season 1 and season 2 of Discovery, you can go right to Strange New Worlds and be fine.
Okay, we'll see. Maybe I'll finally go watch Picard.
Well, just watch season 3.
So no,
just watch season 3.
No, because I don't remember shit about any of the Next Generation stuff. So I need to set up.
Oh, you know what's funny? Just before we started this show, while I was eating dinner, I was watching the Star Trek Next Generation channel.
Yeah,
and you've watched it, right?
Start TNG.
Yeah. TNG.
Yeah, I've seen, I think, every episode of TNG.
Okay, well, that's what Star Trek Picard season 3 is. It's basically the actual. So the episode that was on was the one with the flute, where the probe teleports, basically sends him to that planet that died.
Yeah,
remember the one with the flute? Yeah. Oh, it's such a heartbreakingly great episode. It's one of the best TNG episodes of all time.
Yeah, I watched most of it. I don't recall a lot of it. But I know that like if I saw something from it, I'd be like, oh, I remember that.
If you saw the one with the flute, you'd remember it.
Yeah. So that's Starfleet. All right, so we got Wonder Man and Fallout.
Go ahead, do Wonder Man.
Discuss. So before we get to the Wonder Man show, for anybody that doesn't know, I want to give a bit of a backstory on the character of Wonder Man. So Wonder Man is one of the oldest Marvel characters in existence. So Wonder Man, and how much do you know about Wonder Man, Frank?
Just from what you've told me. You've told me bits here and there, and I've read some stuff online.
So debuted in October 1964 in Avengers #9.
Ooh.
As he was Simon Williams is the son of a rich industrialist, as most people were in comic books back then, because it was the easiest way to explain how they were different from the common man, who was like a tech mogul, right? Industrialist it has, but Simon gets put out after his father's death. He gets put out of business by Tony Stark. So then, who's his biggest competitor, Stark Industries, as you know, in everything, right? And then his brother Eric, who will come back in this storytelling of Simon, convinces Simon to embezzle funds from the company. But then Simon is caught and put in prison. While in prison, Baron Zemo comes to Simon and says, hey, I can help you get out, and we will make the Avengers pay and all of because Iron Man was not known as Tony Stark in the comics at the time. However, they knew that Iron Man worked for Tony Stark as his bodyguard. So that was where he was like, I'll go and fight the Avengers. And the Enchantress from Thor realm is involved, and Baron Zemo is involved. The Executioner's there. So they turn Simon into this superhuman being where he has superhuman strength and durability. And he's called Wonder Man by Zemo. And he is set up to go infiltrate the Avengers, and he joins the Avengers to then destroy them from the inside. He does, with the way he got his powers, though, he has to have this serum to survive that only Zemo can give him. So that's how Zemo keeps him from changing his mind. After this initial encounter, Simon Williams dies. But as he is dying or being comatose in this, Hank Pym records his brain patterns to hopefully they can revive Wonder Man at some point, because he's basically like an ionic being. Eric, his brother, becomes distraught and assumes the identity of the Grim Reaper, which is a character that is throughout Marvel history for almost just as long, to avenge Simon. That'll come back into play later as well. So then Simon's in like suspended animation. He's not dead, but he's not alive. He's just kind of catatonic this whole time. He's at the Avengers headquarters. So when Ultron is created by Hank Pym, Ultron's, who is Ant-Man, right? But he's real before, unlike the Marvel Cinematic Universe, it was not Banner and Stark that did everything. Hank Pym's the one that screwed everything up all the time.
Right.
So he created Ultron and used Wonder Man's brain patterns for the Vision.
Okay.
Ultron did. So for the next 60 years, there's a constant back and forth between Wonder Man and the Vision, because like Wonder Man also is in love with Wanda. And the Vision's, all of his human parts are from Simon Williams' brain pattern. So like they're considered brothers. Wonder Man's brought back a few times through this stretch to fight as a enemy against. He's like brought back by Kang the Conqueror through time travel. He's brought back as a zombie to fight the Avengers a few times. Then he's brought back full in. He's resurrected and brought out of his coma. And joins the Avengers. He keeps the ionic. His eyes are glowing red. He has this he's super strength. That's his powers. That like he has to have like a jetpack to fly. So like his powers are literally like super strength and durability. He does. There's some great stuff between him and always feeling inferior and like he's not a real hero, because again, he was just a tech guy who went to prison, and like now he's casting, now he has these powers and he feels the responsibility to use them, but he doesn't feel like he's worthy of using these powers all the time. And that plays out for like decades, that storyline with him. But him and Beast also become super close while they're in the Avengers together. That's during this stretch. And that comes back in. There's been series with the two of them for off and on up until like the early 2000s as like kind of a comedy, because Wonder Man does get into Hollywood. And he goes down that path, but he's a horrible actor. And then he becomes a stuntman, because that makes a little more sense because he's invulnerable, right? So they can do stuff. So he's out in LA. He helps form the West Coast Avengers. He does that for a little while, but he's a regular member of the Avengers off and on for like 40 years. So like big character in the Avengers. He's had a few solo books, never like a long run, mostly like miniseries, and has always played more as part of a group. He's always been one of those like B players. And there's been more stuff since then where he's been in and out. They've expanded out his ionic powers some, where he has some more if his body's destroyed, he can still survive as ionic energy. That's happened once or twice. They eventually allowed him to have simulated flight, as they expanded out his power set. But does any of this sound like what you got on your TV show?
So there was, and then he did with Hank Pym and Envision Avengers. No,
right.
Not on this TV show.
No, and he's a main player on when they did the Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes 2, the cartoon years ago. Major character in that. But anyway, so that brings us now to what Marvel decided to do with said character, which was delete all that.
I didn't hate the show. I didn't have the background of the show that you had.
Mm-hmm.
I personally really enjoyed Ben Kingsley's take on Trevor Slattery. I thought the show was I thought the show was pretty fantastic for what it was. Maybe the title was a little misleading. Maybe it could have been called something else. See it. I don't know. It definitely didn't resemble anything that you just said at all. Maybe the powers at some point.
I don't think they expanded him out to have those crazy like blow up boom boom powers.
Yeah. He can fly.
Look.
So Wonder Man spoilers. If you haven't seen the TV show, now we're going to talk about the TV show.
Yeah. 8 episodes dropped on Disney Plus last week, starring Yahya Mateen and Ben Kingsley and a handful of other people. Josh Gad and I forget who.
R.I.P. Josh Gad.
What's his name? And Zlatko Buric and Ex Mayo also stars, and Arian Moayed, who has been in multiple Marvel shows now, running as a damage control agent, because they're still playing with damage control for whatever reason, doing weird things with it as basically ice now. I don't know what we're doing with damage control. It's a weird spot that they've put them in the Marvel universe.
A little bit.
Very awkward. The show was filmed before all this has gone down, I think. So, because I think they filmed this show like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
It's a weird spot for that. Look, I thought the show the acting was great. The relationships were great. The writing was good. It wasn't Wonder Man to me, but like it wasn't a superhero show. For a show that's not a superhero show, it was great. It was really well done for that.
And it wasn't an origin story, really, so to speak. It was more of a character story and kind of a take on Hollywood, right? Like,
yeah.
And I did enjoy that part of it, and I guess I'm really, really glad I didn't know the Wonder Man backstory that you have, because then I would have seen it in a completely different way. Like
I've been reading the character for 40 some odd years.
I understand where you're looking at it from, but there's a whole bunch of people that are looking at it from a completely new way now, which is good.
Yeah,
but is this character?
Go ahead.
No, is this character going to figure into Doomsday now? Or is this going to just be another one-off character?
Well, that's the problem, right? Like, they didn't set this up to go, and I think that's Marvel's problem in general at this point, right? They're doing so many things that are just like, hey, it's set in the world. Cool. Is it going to connect? Because that's what your bread and butter was for your first 23 properties. Was like they all play into each other. Like, at least for not another 3 or 4 years, is this going to... And look, Ben Kingsley's great, right? Like, they have this obsession with bringing back this character, though. Which, I didn't need him in Shang-Chi, even though we got the real Mandarin. So, I get why you did it. But, for God's sake, bring back Sam... what's his name? Sam Rockwell. Bring back Justin Hammer. Justin Hammer's who I need to see in some of these movies. I would love
to see some Justin Hammer. And it's weird the choices they make of the characters they bring back. And like I said, I love Ben Kingsley in this role. I think he knocked it out of the park. But there are characters that are better suited for the Marvel universe as a whole. This isn't the Mandarin.
Right. There's 3. Well, out of Marvel Comics, there's 2 characters. Because this is definitely not the Eric that's going to turn into the Grim Reaper.
Right.
And be a major thorn in the Avengers side forever.
Right.
There's literally, and maybe they use some names, right? Like Doorman, right? He was introduced as a member of the Great Lakes Avengers, which was a comedy group. They came in and had Big Bertha and Flatman and all these knockoff characters.
But that's his real power, right?
That was his power as one of the Great Lake Avengers. Yeah.
He didn't kill Josh Gad, though.
No, because they were in Michigan. Gotcha. So they had the East Coast Avengers. They created the West Coast Avengers, as I said earlier, right?
Right.
Hawkeye ran it with Mockingbird and Tigra. And I'm actually just started reading that series again as I'm working through my Avengers run. And Wonder Man and Iron Man were members of that when it first kicked off. But like they then they said, "Oh, you know what? We need one for the middle of the country." So they created a Great Lakes Avengers, which was hold on. When it first started, it was Mr. Immortal,
Okay.
Flat Man. Like I said, who was basically Reed Richards,
Gotcha.
because he has a flat body that can only
Right.
go flat. Big Bertha, who is size and mass alteration when she's normal looking, she's like a supermodel, and then when she gets big, she looks like a world's largest woman from like the carnivals back in the day. It was the 80s, you could do that.
Sure.
Doorman was the character, and Dinosaur, who looked like a kind of pterodactyl, like human pterodactyl hybrid.
Okay.
And Mr. Immortal, just you couldn't kill him. So like all worthless powers for the most part. Like not as stretchy as Reed Richards, just could fold into like origami shapes because he was flat. So but like that was when they got introduced, right? And they brought him through a few times over the years. But yeah, that's how he was introduced anyway. So nice nod to him. I don't know, I need a full episode on it. But again, like fascinating episode and great compelling storytelling. I don't know what and it's my personal thing with like if it's not doing something for Marvel,
Right.
I don't know that I give a shit.
Understood. I mean, I enjoyed it, but I don't understand the point of it in the grand scope of things. And they're calling it a spotlight show. So does that even like is that kind of off to the side? Like I mean,
Who knows?
I guess not because damage control's involved. So they're like,
Yeah, but like you know, and it goes back to again, like it's the same thing with like Ironheart. Like, do I expect them to pick up anything from Ironheart again? No.
hopefully not.
So again, it was a fine story, but like no reason for me to watch it.
Right.
Agatha all along. Do I expect them to wrap any of that in Vision Quest? Not at all.
Probably not.
So like again,
you're
like
not even gonna get Wanda in Vision Quest, most likely.
no, you're just burning storylines for storyline's sake to generate content. But if it's not tying back, which the comic books don't have to, right?
Right.
But I'm not watching the comic books. They're not releasing 12 issues a year that they
Right.
have to fill content for. So I need other stories and then once a year a crossover. I'm not even getting once a year a crossover with this stuff. It's once every like 5 years at this point. So but you know, Wonder Man again as a show, I thought the show was actually great. The acting was great. It was funny. It had a lot of heartfelt moments. Some of it was a little over the top. But that was what Yaya was meant to be.
Yeah.
You know, like the going and being at the family party and stuff like that. You're kind of like I was on Eric's side more than Simon's. Like I don't have any sympathy for Simon as a character. Even somebody that was like in the arts and pursued that for a while. Like I don't have sympathy for him spending 8 years not working apparently, but able to afford an apartment in L.A. It was a pretty nice size apartment, honestly. That I guess Eric was paying for through his mom.
They definitely made him come off like I don't know. I've never been into performing arts, so maybe I don't understand that creative process of you have a bit role, you're supposed to come on, you're supposed to say one line, and like, you know, the opening of the show, he's like trying to rewrite and get into the
Right.
you know, the depth of the character that has like 1 to 2 lines and like a 2-minute scene. Like I don't know if
Yes,
that's
so part of the acting thing from what I've seen or heard is like you're supposed to do all that, right? And then you
Right.
get on set and you throw it out and you just do the scene.
Gotcha.
But you're supposed to, as you develop your character for that scene, do all of that work
Okay.
before you get there.
Yes. Yeah, I have
But
no
not
idea.
then call the director over and be like, "Can we rewrite that? Like, what are we doing?"
Yeah.
Like he comes across as kind of dumb.
That part was a little like,
And if you're still doing that to yourselves 8 years in, like, come on, man.
yeah. It was fun. It's not a show I'll rewatch. Then again, I said the same thing about Stranger Things. It was a great show. It's not a show I'll rewatch. I have my taste of things, obviously, of what I'm going to rewatch
Right.
over and over and over and over. Tell you what I won't rewatch. I won't go back and rewatch Fallout,
No.
but I love Fallout.
I loved season 1 of Fallout.
Oh,
I don't dislike season 2. I'm not. It didn't do anything for me.
So there was a lot of deep.
It felt like this. The last 2 episodes were like ode to the video games. Here you video game people go. All the Easter eggs, and I'm like, I don't know what any of these mean.
There were so many Easter eggs in that episode. They took stuff right from the video game.
And you did stick through, right?
Yes.
Spoilers for season 2 in its entirety of Fallout, by the way.
Yes. So the biggest thing, one of the best parts of that episode, it was very action packed, but a problem I had with the episode were the quick cuts. The quick cut, you would spend a minute, 2 minutes on this scene, and then you would go to black and go back to these people over here. They crammed a lot of stuff into an hour episode. It was about an hour, right? Hour-ish.
Barely. It felt like it was supposed to be a 10 episode season.
You give this a 10 episode season, and you could let a little more of these scenes breathe. There was a lot of quick, like I said, they would fade to black on, go to black on this, and then now you're over here with these people. And then you go to black on that real fast, and you're over here with these people.
Oh, I forget what I forgot to talk about something earlier on Wonder Man, but that's fine.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Just the fact that every episode of Wonder Man had to have a minute-long Daredevil trailer before it told you all you needed to know about the show. Anyway. Sorry, I was pulling Fallout up and a Daredevil thing popped up. I'm like, oh yeah, we forgot the Daredevil trailer. But yeah, look, I agree with you 100%. It felt like the flashbacks in this one to the old times, like I was like, this is so disconnected. And maybe it's because the show, I get a chance to watch it, and it's usually like later, and I've fallen asleep during the last 3 because I was that not engaged in the episodes. Like I was like, I guess stuff's happening.
There definitely was a lot of chatter online about how this season was way less than season 1. And it definitely did drag in parts. And there were some parts that just kind of felt unnecessary. But again, the games are so massive. Like Fallout 4, the last game release came out in 2015, I want to say. It's a 10-year-old game. Yeah. I just started replaying it again. I'm bored. I need a game to play. But there's so much side stuff to do, and there's so many different little locations to find, and like, you know, there's stuff, they're still finding stuff. That, you know what I mean? Like every ounce of that game hasn't been explored. The big Deathclaw fight, which is like one of the big moments of the show, right? You got Maximus in the NCR power armor.
Yeah.
Which the minute they revealed that the episode before, it was added to Fallout 76. That's the online PvE PvP game. So that was automatically added. The scene basically taken right from the game with the sniper in the NCR.
Yeah.
That a lot of people are thinking that that's the courier from New Vegas. I don't know, but and the music for New Vegas started to play when he took that shot. That's like a scene from the game. Like that shot, and then the way the camera kind of is in front of you and follows, and like that's all like in-game stuff, which was really awesome to see. The Deathclaw fight was great. I'm terrified of one Deathclaw in the game because they're just ridiculous.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the story overall, and where they set it to go from here, it feels like they're just kind of at the midpoint of telling this overall story. It doesn't feel like that was an ending. It feels like that's more of a jumping off point.
So how does this work? How does this line up for the Mr. What's his name?
Mr. House?
Yes. How did this do with how Mr. House is left in Game World versus in this?
I did not ever actually finish New Vegas. So I had held off playing. There's apparently 2 endings in New Vegas, and I think they made this. I don't know if this was canon or not to the New Vegas finale, the game.
That's what I'm not sure. That's why I figured I would check. That's fine. This is gonna. I feel like by next season this is gonna run into the same problem that I just said. Right, like the cast is so unwieldy already. So, like it's getting to like Game of Thrones level where there's like, here's 20 more characters every season that we're gonna. It's like, God damn it, just because we didn't even touch on like he turned on all his people out in the wild, right? But we don't know who they are.
Which that I don't understand. So the
timelines are very skewed here.
The TV show is set 15 years after the video game New Vegas.
Right.
Okay. So the show does not explicitly declare a single game ending as canon, instead navigating aftermath using a fog of war approach that respects player choices while advancing the narrative. There's different endings to the Fallout games. So there's not one definitive ending, because they kind of give you the choice to basically, you can be a piece of shit evil person, or you can be a really good person, or you can go down the middle. The Enclave is usually the overall villain. That's like that's like a part of the government that wants to wipe out all humans on Earth and restart the population as a pure population.
Yeah.
The way they ended the show is they're pointing you towards going to Colorado, which the games have never done. The games have been in Boston, Washington, D.C., New Vegas, and I forget where Fallout 4 was. I think Fallout 4 was it is in Boston. The Commonwealth. That's Boston.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Diamond City, the place that you go to in Fallout 4, is actually Fenway Park.
Got it.
It was a little wonky at times, and it was a little choppy.
Fallout 2 is probably the closest, it looks like.
To what?
To Colorado.
Okay.
Southern Oregon, Northern California.
Yeah.
And that's where they dig into New California is in Fallout 2.
Yeah, the New California Republic is like the other side of the coin from the Enclave.
Yeah.
I still don't like Maximus.
No.
As a character. I still am not a big fan of his.
Like buying that he was good enough with the mech to like fight any of them off, given how bad they're supposed to be. Come on.
Yeah, but that's the mech. Like, he didn't even know it had rockets and weapons like that. The mech basically was doing that. It wasn't him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he keeps walking into that.
The big reveal in the after credits scene of the Brotherhood, the guy in charge of the Brotherhood going balls to the wall and wanting to create Liberty Prime is amazing.
Now, what is Liberty Prime?
Liberty Prime is like the be-all, end-all of battle armor. Liberty Prime, I had this earlier, is Liberty Prime is a pre-war military experiment designed as a potential combat robot with the objective of liberating Anchorage, Alaska from Chinese occupation. That's in the video game. I'm pretty sure it was destroyed in 2277 and recommissioned in 2287. It had power issues. They figured out the power issues, and I believe it showed up in Fallout 2 or 3. Fallout 3 it showed up in.
That'll be interesting next season whenever we get. And look, they were pretty quick in this turnaround, which
they're starting this year. They're starting in May to film. So you'll have a new season of Fallout next year.
Right, in 2027. End of 2027 probably.
They're churning them along pretty good.
Which is good. I guess the problem was the ghouls thought that they were definitely alive and hadn't woken up at any point in the 200 years prior to recent-ish.
Nobody woke them up. That's the thing is they had to be, if you're in cryo like that, you have to be woken up. Someone has to wake you up.
Right. No, I know. But like, he doesn't know that they're alive. Correct. He doesn't know they weren't woken up at any point in the last 200 years. And he's like, now I know they're alive. Like,
well, that's hope.
Do you? Like, do you know more that they're alive now than you did before?
Well, he didn't know where they were before, and now he found their cryopods and the little thing about Colorado. That's like
sometime in the last 200 years.
Look, hope is good.
I know, just like that was like,
yeah.
But that I was like, wait a minute, why is he like, oh my god, they're alive? I'm like, are you sure? Because it looks like that note was probably written 200 years ago.
Could have been. The best line of the whole show was when Macaulay Culkin came out with the Kaiser thing on. Did you catch what he said? He said, "We will go to New Vegas.
Yes,
and we will build a palace, and we will call it Kaiser's Palace."
Yes. It was great.
Mic drop.
Yeah, look, he was fantastic this episode. Where they're
he should be pretty prominent in the next one because the Legion's walking into New Vegas and the new.
But no, what character are we going to follow there?
That's another character, yeah.
No, but I mean, what of our main? Because it's still the Lucy Maximus Ghoul show, right? Like those are the three.
So the Ghoul went and Hank he activated the switch so that he couldn't give her any more information,
right?
And tell her what this grand plan is.
Right. So, but Norm is somewhere trying to find Lucy.
Norm is somewhere with his girl, who managed to be the only one to survive.
It was so silly.
Look, let me tell you something else. Rad roaches are the very first thing you fight in a Fallout game, and you can beat them with a stick.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, Bud's
the fact that they decimated all of those people is hilarious.
Except for her.
Right.
Sure.
It's fine.
I mean, he fought them off by hiding behind a chair. Like,
He did. And that's how. Yeah. So the Ghoul's off by himself with the dog.
No.
Maximus.
The dog's not with the Ghoul.
Yeah, he is.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
Dog meat is with Maximus and Thaddeus. He was in the shop with them.
Yeah, but at the end, when the Ghoul was standing looking out over at the mountains, the dog was looking.
Was he?
100%.
That's weird.
Yeah. So the dogs with the Ghoul, and they're outside of Vegas looking at what looks like
Colorado
mountains already.
Yeah. I mean, there's mountains in Vegas too, but it's fine.
Lucy and Maximus are holding hands in the middle of the town.
Right.
And the brother's off doing God knows what. Hank McLean's wife is enacting phase 2 of the plan.
Right.
And that Pip-Boy that she has is an Enclave special one. It's the same one that the Ghoul was wearing from House. That's an Enclave Pip-Boy. It's not the same as the other ones. That's like on a different frequency. They're going to start filming in May. So, I mean,
cool.
Macaulay Culkin will be back. So that's another person added to the cast.
That's fine. And they'll have to introduce the Enclave.
The Enclave, yeah.
And we'll get Clancy Brown back.
I guarantee Clancy Brown comes back. He's just such a great bad guy.
And then they'll find a way to start throwing Ron Perlman, who became that mutant in the flashbacks, I bet.
Possibly.
Unless that was just a cameo by Perlman, which is possible.
It's possibly.
But yeah, look, lots of good stuff there.
One thing we didn't get, we did not get a shadow drop game. We did not get Fallout 3 remastered, Fallout New Vegas remastered. Unfortunately, we did not. It sucks. It's sad. I hate it, but I kind of knew it wasn't going to happen.
Yeah.
So maybe they'll shadow drop something, but apparently there's going to be a Fallout Shelter reality TV show coming.
Oh God. That
will put people in a vault and like a game show kind of thing.
Yeah, Mr. Beast already did that. It was survival games. Speaking of that, Beast Wars heating up. It's exciting stuff. If you haven't watched Beast Wars, go watch
Fallout Shelter is an unscripted. Hold on. Unscripted upcoming reality competition TV series on Amazon Prime. It is an unscripted reality TV show based on the Fallout world, inspired by, but not to be confused with, the mobile game Fallout Shelter. A group of contestants into the world of Fallout through a series of high-stakes challenges requiring strategy and teamwork, with the promise of a cash prize at the end. These challenges are reportedly blended with deeply social, psychological, and narrative-driven gameplay. It's 10 episodes, one season, to be aired soon.
Yep, Beast Wars.
I mean, look, I'll watch it. It sounds awesome. I watched Survivor for 12, 13 years before I tapped out of that.
Hey, the 50th season, I think, starts next week, right?
Yeah.
With White Lotus creator Mike White back. And Colton.
I don't remember any of the people from...
He was from like season 2. Colton was.
Colby, I remember. Okay. I think my mom really liked
I don't remember what his name was.
My mom
what's her name's back too?
Remember Boston Rob?
He's not back, but the one that like won the Traitors and was on Big Brother with their kid, and she's back. You'd remember her. She's like a big Survivor villain. She's been on Survivor like 3 times now. It's gonna drive me nuts trying to remember what her name is. Hold on.
I think that's it for our while you're looking that up. I think
that is all of the things that we watched. So thank you all for finding the Geek Spot. I will be making my debut at the Cool Cricket. In
sounds cool.
Fieldsboro, New Jersey, Friday night. So if you're looking for something to do, feel free to come hang out there. Surrey.
Okay.
Yeah, from Survivor. Yeah. She's back again, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, she was on Survivor like season, I don't know, a long time ago. Because she's in her mid-50s now.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Anyway, so you can check me out at thecoolcricket, jackkidmusic.com. As always, you can check out Frank at Gimzak on the Instagram.
And tomorrow night, the Island of Relevancy Wrestling podcast is back with our friend T and myself talking about the Royal Rumble, the highs and the lows, Raw and SmackDown. What's good, what's bad. Raw was in Philadelphia this past Monday. We're going to have a good time tomorrow night.
Friend Maddie Kaplan of the show was there.
Yes, he was.
Make sure you go check them out. Give them a like and subscribe too, so you know when they go live. Just like us. Tell a friend. Thanks for joining the conversation as always. And we will see you all next time.
With the Flash shirt.